People have been playing Black Ops 2 Zombies for nearly 15 years. And well, I'm one of the best in the world. If you don't believe me, go take a look at the Origins Easter egg speedrun leaderboards. Okay, maybe I've fallen off a little bit, but I have a good excuse. See, I've been on and off for the last 2 years or so, and people have been wondering, where is Snowy? When is he coming back to take the Origins world record? I've been planning on making a comeback for a while now, but honestly, I can't bring myself to face that map again. Too many bad memories. Are you So I thought, why not make my comeback on a new map? A map I barely have any experience on. And well, here's where I broke into the top 10 on the leaderboard, speedrunning the Mob of the Dead Easter egg in only 25 days. Before we get into what my experience was like, thought I'd give you guys a quick rundown on how the speedrun works, as well as important choke points, which may or may not come into fruition later in the video. You open a door for free and turn on the dryer. Head upstairs and grab the double, knifing your way to 4,000 points before picking up a nuke. Open yet another door for free, do the code in the clock tower, head downstairs and grab the ropes. Open another door for free. Start filling up the dog, pick up the gas, and take a ride on the gondola. Pick up the engine, pick up the timepiece, fill up another dog, build the plane, ride the plane, crash the plane. Return from the bridge and start feeding doggy number 3. Make sure to grab all your fuel as you go for the rest of the run. Finish off the first dog, and now that you've filled up the dogs, you can grab the Hell's Retriever and throw it at your first skull. Build the plane, ride the plane, crash the plane, humiliate Brutus's whole bloodline, sit in the death chair, grab the skull you missed because you're a total bot, grab your third skull, and your fourth one, throw it at the poster this time. One last skull before we get to our free shotgun, zap a cheeky spoon, throw the thing at the spoon, build the plane, ride the plane, crash that shit, don't forget to freak the fuck out.
I have pins and needles in my whole body, bro. I haven't felt this since Origins.
Get in the death chair, do the codes in this specific order, pick up the tapes, and if you do all that perfectly, your name is J-Dubs, and you're honestly just insanely cracked at the game. There's nothing really else I can say. In Mob of the Dead, you can open doors without spending points by doing the free door glitch. There are a couple of different ways we can do this. The first, and by far the easiest, we use right at the start of the run. Set your FPS to 90, and right after you spawn in, walk backwards and spam your interact key. The second way is to simply cook a grenade, and right before it goes off, jump and spam your interact key. When you're leaving the dryer, you need to have ended round 1 and also have around 5,000 points. Luckily, we get a guaranteed drop at 4,000 points, and we're hoping for a nuke to get us up to that 5,000 point threshold a lot faster. Filling up the dogs has by far the highest RNG ceiling. You need to feed each dog 6 zombies in order for it to be satisfied. Getting a zombie spawn in the first 2 to 5 seconds of entering the dog zone is really important, as bad spawns can lose you upwards of 15 seconds. So, where does a month of actually speedrunning this get you? Well, my goal was to break into the top 10 on the leaderboards, so I needed a time of 18 minutes and 44 seconds. I booted up my first stream, and things went surprisingly well. I didn't quite get my first completion, but I did choke a couple runs.
Not over. My name is Stanley Ferguson. I was a guard at Alcatraz from 1933 to 1942. Today, I'm going to give you some insight into one of the more interesting tales of the prison's history.
Why did I switch the blood again?
Stream 2 was where I got my first completion. A time of 20 minutes and 22 seconds. 2 days gone and I was already in the top 30. How much harder could it really be to break into the top 10? Well, over the next 15 days, I whittled down my personal best with a 1934 on day 7, a 1920 on day 9, a 1912 on day 15, and then a 19 flat on day 17. I was feeling very happy with my progress. I managed to cut down an entire minute since day 2, and I felt like I was well on my way to achieving a sub 19. Let me tell you now, I had no idea what I was in store for. You see, to get a 19 flat run, you have to be pretty good at the game. That's about it. You don't need perfect zombie spawns, and you don't need to play perfectly. All you have to do is execute the route and get maybe a little bit lucky. So going into stream 18, I was overly naive, to put it lightly. But over the next 10 days, what I thought was going to be a continuation of cutting down my time, instead was a hellish nightmare I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. I could not get the spawns I was looking for to save my life, and when I did, I somehow managed to choke every time. Remember, most of my speedrunning experience is on Origins. Origins is an extremely open map, with heaps of space to dodge zombies. Mob, on the other hand, is pretty much entirely tight-knit corridors where just one zombie can block your path. Add in segments where you have to knife a bunch of zombies or train them up when you fill a dog, and you've got a perfect recipe for the infamous snowy choke. Seriously, all these deaths were really starting to get to me, and I'm pretty sure I was losing my mind. Just watch this clip of where I don't get a good zombie spawn. I'm gonna kill my mom. I'm gonna kill my dad. I'm gonna kill my mom. For 7 streams in a row, I just got absolutely nowhere. And honestly, I felt like just giving it all away. But then I remembered something. J-Dubs didn't get the world record by giving up. Dank Slushy didn't become the GOAT of Origins by giving up. If I was going to do this, there was only one way. I needed to slam my head against the wall as many times as it took until I got the luck I needed. And well, on stream 25, something amazing happened. But the new guy was looking for a dryer and headed down to the docks. My first spawn was good, not amazing, but I knew good spawns later could help me. I pulled as many zombies as I could into the dog whilst I grabbed my parts. Normally I aim to get 5 zombies in here, but this time I only got 4. I grabbed the next part and headed up to the roof dog. Now this might look like a bad spawn, but you have to keep in mind, in every zombies game, if you run too far away from the zombies, they'll respawn. And they can only respawn in Black Ops 2 every 10 seconds. So I'm not going to explain exactly how the timing works now because this song is just getting me too hyped and I want to keep it moving, but just know this spawn was pretty lucky. I took my first of 3 flights while I tried to relax and compose myself. I got a pretty lucky nuke after killing Brutus, which I used to push to the next round, and here's where shit got crazy. After returning from the bridge, I grabbed my first fuel can and headed for the 3rd dog. I got close to the luckiest spawn possible, and immediately the nerves hit me. I only had one more RNG checkpoint to get through before the rest was up to me, and I wasn't going to let it slip this time. After carefully filling up the 3rd dog, I headed for the gondola. Remember, I still need to feed 2 more zombies before I can get the Hell's Retriever. And well, just watch. I got my first spawn instantly again! With another zombie close behind me, I shot it twice to weaken it, and once again, threw a perfectly timed nade to fill up the dog. And from here, as long as I didn't make any catastrophic mistakes, I had top 10 in the bag. After taking the plane to the bridge for the 2nd time, I hit the skull throw on the way back. I had a little bit of shaky movement in the clock tower, but I did nail the 3rd skull throw by the docks, which is by far the hardest because you have to hit it whilst you hit this strafe jump. I made my way back up the gondola, remembering to grab the 4th skull, grabbed the fuel, picked up my last skull, along with the blundergat, and zapped the spoon. I remembered to throw the thing at the spoon, picked up my last fuel can, and headed up for my last flight. At this point of the run, my entire body was literally shaking. I hadn't felt like this in a really long time, and it made me remember what speedrunning was all about. It's all about the failures, yes, but it's more about persevering through that failure. Having the courage to know I might have had the best chance yet at achieving my goal, and threw it all away. But that doesn't mean a better chance isn't just around the corner. That doesn't mean that next time, I might just do what I thought was impossible. And so, I input the codes, picked up the tapes, and just like that, my goal was complete.
Also, none of these golds are real, except for probably flat one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. My hands, bro. My hands, bro. What the fuck? Dude, oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. I'm free. I don't have to play this map. I don't have to play the map anymore. I don't have to play the fucking map. I knew today was the day, bro. I had a dream last night, bro. And I had a dream last night.
So, with all this said and done, I think there's only one more question left to ask. What's next? Do I continue speedrunning Mob and try to cut down my time? Honestly, I'm pretty happy leaving it at the top 10 that I just achieved. Do I give Origins another crack? The map that gave me literal speedrunning trauma? I think not. Do I go to a new map like Transit? Okay, I think that one's a bit self-explanatory. What I'm getting at is I've been looking for a new map to speedrun over the last 2 weeks while I've been editing this video, and nothing really comes to mind. I think it's time to say a hard farewell to speedrunning. It's been a long journey. I appreciate all your guys' support, those that have been there through thick and thin, watching me. And well, I guess there's only one last thing to say. Goodbye.
Psych!